Hello, all my CEO babes. We are on day 2 of 100 days of YouTube. Oh my goodness, today we are going to be talking a lot about mindset, but before we get started, your lovely host for the day today is Tina. My name is Tina. I'm an online business coach, and I help online coaches like yourself scale to 5K without a large audience, email list, paid ads. So without further ado, I would like to go ahead and get started to talk about the 3 mindset shifts that you're going to have to go through as being an entrepreneur. And if you are thinking about entrepreneurship and you're wondering, well, what does that look like? Then this is the right video for you. So the first thing that we're going to talk about here is that time is no longer for money, because I will tell you, in the beginning stages of entrepreneurship, I can guarantee you're going to put a lot of time in the beginning. If you're lucky, maybe you get money like instant gratification, but the entrepreneurs that I've known, it took a lot of time in order to get to the places that they're wanting to be, right? So the first thing that you have to know is that time is no longer for money anymore, because at the end of the day, if you're an entrepreneur, it's you don't really get paid the minute that you decide that you're going to be an entrepreneur, as opposed to working a traditional 9-to-5 job and you are trading time for money. In this scenario, you are actually trading money for time, right? And this is a concept that I really want you to think about as you are deciding to pivot through your business, because as you go through entrepreneurship, you go through the ups and flows of entrepreneurship, I can guarantee you that nothing's gonna feel better when you get your first paycheck and you get paid way more than you will ever do in your hourly job, in your traditional corporate job, ever than before. But the thing is, it's gonna be worth it for you, because all that time that you designate into it ends up paying off. And that's why I say to a lot of individuals who are transitioning to entrepreneurship is that know that you do have to sacrifice a lot of time in the beginning, and eventually, once you continue to invest your time, energy, and money into your business, you can start buying yourself time by buying yourself team members, buying yourself, etc. But that's a whole different topic that we can talk about in a different video, right? So the next thing that I want to talk about is to get comfortable with rejection. And this is particularly for anyone who does sales in their business, which is pretty much everyone, because you can't have a business if you do not have sales. That's just the hard lesson that I've learned. And it's one thing to say that you have a business, but it's another thing to say that you have a business and you've generated revenue to come into your business, and it's like, wow, this actually happened. It's, and in some ways, it's like when you get your first client or when you get your first paycheck, it's like, wow, like someone believed in me to actually pay me whatever your price is for the steps to work with you, right? Especially if you're a service-based entrepreneur, such as online coaching. This is what I do. So I totally get it, right? And the thing that you have to know is rejection is something that's going to happen. I can guarantee you, not everybody in a sales call is going to say yes. You may get a lot of no's in the beginning, but this is interesting, because you may get a lot of no's in the beginning, but eventually you will get a yes. And as you get a yes, you invest that yes, whatever money that you're getting, into sales development or things like that, so then you can get more yeses within time, right? But there is this concept of rejection therapy that I actually really encourage everybody to do. So if you don't know what rejection therapy is, essentially what it is that it's really about seeking no's. And I know that's kind of the opposite of what we normally think, because you traditionally want to seek yeses, but in this scenario, you're actually seeking no's. And the thing is that you're exposing yourself to rejection so that you no longer have to feel bad or feel embarrassed or feel all these negative feelings or negative connotations that come with the no, right? So when you get more proactive by getting no's, then it's gonna help you a lot better, because by the time you get a sales call and you get a no, you realize that it's not a bad thing, right? If anything, I consider it a blessing, because every no means that I have more opportunity to serve more yeses in my life, and I have more room to serve more individuals that want to work with me, right? So if anything, I consider it as like, okay, lesson learned, you move forward, right? And the next thing that you're going to go over is that in entrepreneurship, I guarantee you, especially if you're an individual who doesn't have the greatest environment, let's say, where entrepreneurship is not necessarily celebrated, a lot of times people are going to think that you're crazy for even deciding to do it. Like, Tina, like, you're running a business? Tina, you're only in college, you're full-time, how can you run a business? Or, Tina, you're starting a YouTube channel? Like, oh my goodness, there's a whole spiral of like, what are you doing? What's going on? And then there's imposter syndrome, and then you sprinkle in a little bit of limiting beliefs, and then you sprinkle in all these other things that really try to tear you down. But as an entrepreneur, it's important to bring yourself back up, right? Because at the end of the day, go for it. Even though everybody thinks you're crazy, go for it. Because honestly, I truly believe entrepreneurs change the game for every single thing that you decide that you want to do, right? So when it comes to dealing with a rejection therapy, you're probably going to get rejection from the individuals that love you the most. But it's important for you to know that at the end of the day, when you succeed, not if, but when you succeed, those individuals that thought that you couldn't do it, they either will still be with you or they won't. And if anything, that just creates more opportunity and more room for other individuals to fill in those gaps, to fill in those places, because there is nothing more important than having a community of individuals that support you, that are here with you. And honestly, if those individuals are the ones who are with you when times get super tough, like I'm talking like drop low tough and you're crying and it's just been there before, then, and they're still supporting you, they're still there with you to push you to go up, then anything, I consider that a blessing. Because if they're with you in the tough moments, then they're going to be with you in the high moments. And honestly, if an individual does not have the time or does not have the energy or be there with you in those tough moments, then honestly, why would you be listening to somebody that's not even there for you in the tough moments, and then wants to celebrate with you in the high moments, but they weren't there for you from the beginning? So if anything, I consider that pick your friends wisely, pick the people that you surround yourself wisely, because it is honestly very true that the individuals that you surround yourself with end up being a projection of who you are as an individual. So these are the 3 mindset shifts that I have for every beginning stage entrepreneur. I had a post-it note. So the first thing is time is no longer for money. The second thing is that get comfortable with rejection. It's gonna happen. And the last and most important thing is go for it, even though everyone may think that you're crazy, because I guarantee you, you are not crazy. You are just someone who's born to wanting more in life than just the traditional 9-to-5 job, and you want to serve individuals and change people's lives with your ideas. Ideas move people. Ideas change the world. Think about Steve Jobs. He created the iPhone, and then that changed the whole iPhone industry. Bill Gates, he changed the whole industry as well. So ideas are meant to be founded by those who have the courage to run with them. So I guarantee you have an idea that is there for you. It's your time to run for it. And more importantly, it's your time to smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. But more importantly, leave a comment below on what is one idea that you want to start pursuing today in entrepreneurship. So put that in the comments below. I'd love to hear your ideas, and go ahead and smash the like button and subscribe to the YouTube channel for more videos about mindset, marketing, and sales in your coaching business or in your entrepreneurship business. And if you're here just to join the ride, then subscribe to that button and hit the notification bell. So I will see you on the next YouTube video on day 3, and I'll talk to you then.